Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a Bold Will Hold podcast. I'm Jordan. This is
Cheyenne. What it do?
Haley.
And Britton.
And today's topics we are going to discuss is going to be tattoo schools versus like an actual apprenticeship. What is happening? There's serious inception happening all around, and I hate it. Someone didn't.
Technical difficulties.
One day we'll start the podcast normally.
Yeah, we got this.
We gotta get in sync and do like a full intro.
What is that?
But yeah, anyways, tattoo schools versus mentorship or versus apprenticeships. And I apologize if you guys hear some tattooing. There is actual live tattooing happening in the shop today.
This is a tattoo
Wait,
shop
There's
yeah.
tattoos
where
here?
we do
Yeah.
tattoos.
Yeah.
We
Tattoos
do
here?
tattoos
Whoa.
here?
What?
Supplies, we do tattoos. Yeah, no, one of our good guys over there, his name is Kyle.
Cow.
I thought it was Kahili.
He's tattooing. Maybe if he takes a break, he'll hop on the camera, say hi. No one's ever seen him yet.
Oh, he's shaking his head no.
He's shaking his head no.
He camera
Mysterious
shy.
wizard.
He
shy.
doesn't want to be on camera today.
It's my job.
It's okay. Maybe we'll take the camera to him mid-tattoo and be like, what?
It's gonna
This
turn
is
into an
live.
MTV episode.
But yeah, no. So, who would like to start talking about the pros and the cons, you think, of tattoo school versus a traditional apprenticeship?
Well, I mean, I think with a school, you can have some consistency. It creates, like, a standard amongst, like, like, accreditation, that type of thing. But I could see a lot of issues with it there as being a school, too. Like, are you going to actually have a shop that you're able to be tattooing at as soon as you get out? Is that
Good
school
points.
actually accredited,
Yeah.
We think about how many colleges that, say, oh, yeah, you'll have a job when you get out, and they're not even accredited. So, how about you, Haley?
Well, I don't know much about the schools themselves. Like,
They're popping up all over. I know there's a few in Chicago now, but I know Portland, Oregon, has them, and I believe you have to go to school to actually even be able to tattoo
Yeah.
out
I
there.
think that's how it is.
So my question is, are you paying to go to school? Because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a big
Oh,
difference
yeah,
between
like-
an apprenticeship and I mean, you might have some more consistency of like what you're learning in a school, but you're also dropping a whole tuition versus paying for your knowledge and services for the shop like you do with an apprenticeship.
Yeah, but I feel like with tattooing in a school setting, I don't know, tattooing needs to be more of a one-on-one thing versus a 1v15.
Yeah.
For
You know,
sure.
like,
for sure.
I feel like I
What?
can't help you. If I was to teach all three of you at the same time, I think my brain would be fried. Like, because you want to be able to give as much as you can, like, into teaching, as I did with helping you guys, versus if I had to do that to a large group of people, I feel like I couldn't reach everyone as in depth as I would want to.
I'm curious if it runs similarly to like a cosmetology school.
I think there's
or a
definitely
hair-
so many different
Yeah, 'cause-
versions of it too, which I feel like is a big factor. There's like little online fucking courses you can take, which is crazy. Like those, I feel like those are just irrelevant, or at least they should be. But like I feel like with the ones in Oregon, at least the artists that I know specifically, where they're at, they do the school and everything, but then they work at that studio until they find a new studio in whatever area they want to go work in. But like they do kind of set them up for success, I believe. I don't know personally, because
I mean, it definitely draws a concern to me because, for instance, the four of us are doing the Cincinnati Tattoo Convention, and they asked that we send proof. The health department asked that we send proof of apprenticeship and like where we learned how to tattoo. I'm like, bro, I learned down the street like
Yeah, what
They
sort of
didn't
proof
have
do we
20,
have?
right,
you
I
know,
don't have a
like
certificate.
Yeah.
14 years ago they weren't giving out
Achievement award.
certificates. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just make something up? Because that seems more ingenuine than like just being like, yo, I'm a fucking tattooer. Like,
Yeah,
look at my
I put in the
Instagram.
time and the
Yeah.
work.
It shows that I know how to tattoo. Like, I don't have to have a piece of paper say, make me feel like a legit tattooer.
And I feel like part of the schools all popping up, it's a mix of, some people actually wanting to educate the new tattoo community properly.
What do we have
But
here?
then I feel like it's also a mix of people that are just trying to. Oh, look at that!
Where
You got a
did that-
We
certificate of
are
achievement.
certified.
You're an artist.
Look
Hell
at that.
yeah. We
There's
take back
absolutely
everything
no
we just said.
educational there.
Just do it yourself. You fill out the form yourself.
Man, I feel like that's
Yeah, like what
that's
paper is
genuine.
that? Looks like fucking
Did this
wax
come
paper.
in the front of a binder or something?
No, I feel like
Station.
it came with
With
the
the
station.
station. Buy your own station, you're automatically certified.
I'm
Welcome to
confused.
Bloomberg, bub.
That's
this was your fucking golden ticket, man, and you just gave it back to me.
You're fired.
With that being said,
We're
No, I'm
certified.
I guess I would be a pro with the schooling. I'm sure there's going to be a point in the near future where anyone under 2 years, is going to have to show proof they went to a school or some sort of proof because there is now this, did I go to a school or did I have an
I mean,
apprenticeship?
I don't see that being so much a thing because the tattoo
I don't think it
community
could
has such a
even
tight
be.
knit of like tradition, and
Right.
that goes really against the grain of the classic mentorship and apprenticeship. So I think you're always going to have apprenticeships, but whether or not different cities decide to enact laws that you need licensure is another thing.
I'm a little bit worried because of how oversaturated the industry is now that when a person is turned away from an apprenticeship just due to no room for an apprentice, if they're just going to go spend all this money at a school and then be screwed after they graduate because there isn't anywhere that there's, room for them to work. Whereas, like, if you go to try
if someone came into Bluebird tomorrow and was like, "Yo, I just graduated tattoo school. This
Like,
is
I'm
my
looking for a
portfolio."
job.
And that's one thing too is
I'm
like,
gonna be like,
you got to redo your apprenticeship
I'm
here.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
I'm
could
like, what'd
maybe-
you learn?
Right.
tattoo school isn't to every shop's standards too,
Mhm.
so. I
And
feel
it
like-
might make it to where some shops will give you an apprenticeship, but they might say like, okay, you still need to do an apprenticeship, and you're still gonna be doing that for 6 months to a year, and your apprenticeship ranges from like a year to a year and a half, anyways.
Like
Yeah.
I can see tattoo schools being good for your basis, like your educational of like bloodborne pathogens, making sure you're not cross contaminating, how to set up, how to break down, all the like. I feel like you can learn a lot that way from a school, but that's about all they really. I
No,
feel like
I
they
think-
could have to offer because like. Think about it. When you guys each apprenticed here, you apprenticed under the shop, which was 4 or 5 artists that all did different stuff, versus if you're going to a school, you might have one teacher for a class of people, and yeah, you might see that person tattoo, but what if that person specializes in realism, but you want to learn traditional? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's definitely
Or
taking
vice
the
versa.
individuality out of everyone's
Yeah.
artwork.
Right.
You're like mass producing artists now, and it's
Well, and
taking
also
away
too, it
from
doesn't
the
really give you a
quality.
chance to build up your career from a business sense. Right off the get-go as an apprentice, you're learning, you're working with clients, you're working around the shop and learning how to clean and do all that stuff, all these necessary things that it's just coming down to being an entrepreneur. And as a tattoo artist, that's what you are. You're your own business person, and you're in charge of your own business. And I doubt that they'll teach that in schools.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
customer
feel-
service aspect especially. Like, where is that going to come into any learning environment?
But
That's
also,
why-
I feel like the hardship of an apprenticeship is what also gives you that backbone when you have an unruly customer come in and you are a non-confrontational person, but this person's pushing you all around. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this helps you build up to it, to where if you're coming straight out of tattoo school, you were just dealing with your friends that you met in college, and that's that. You're not getting real life experience that I feel you get inside of a traditional apprenticeship.
How do you guys feel about seminars?
No,
Se-
I like seminars.
Seminars are good. They're educational. I wish I could have gone to the seminar with you in Chicago that Villain Arts put on. Troy Temple did a fucking phenomenal job,
Yeah.
from what I heard you say. And I feel like they really kicked something off good. I'm excited to check out next year if they do it. There was just so much stuff going on this year.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like seminars are definitely more geared, though, towards already established artists versus
Yeah.
new artists coming into it.
Yes
Yeah.
and no, because like for
Yeah,
instance,
actually, there was
like,
one girl there that didn't tattoo yet. She's not a tattoo artist. She just works at a tattoo shop.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they had the
You're-
whole tax seminar there.
you
They had
probably won't
intro to-
benefit as much as
Right.
if you were already established, but you'll
They-
still benefit from it.
They had like the intro to coil machines,
Yeah.
which taught
Everyone should start on a coil.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that, but there's I've actually had a friend personally reach out to me who asked me to teach one of the artists at their shop wants to learn on coil machines, but no one at the shop uses coil
Mhm.
machines. But they want to learn how to use coil machines, so I'm gonna come over. They're gonna come over one night and they're gonna
Teach 'em how
get a
to
tattoo. Yeah, and
Take
I'm
them
gonna
apart, put them back together. All
yeah,
that
and
good
I'm just
stuff.
gonna teach them the basic stuff. But yeah, it'll be really cool. I take pride in that, the fact that someone still wants to learn
Yeah.
coils, I feel like it's something that's dying, and it's cool that some people,
I could hear one right now.
you hear that buzz? It sounds so good.
It's like the perfect aesthetic for the background.
Yeah.
Is
real.
it?
It's like the perfect atmosphere.
I feel like coils are kind of falling into that same category as tabori, where it'll be held on to as a tradition, even if it phases out of maybe not having the like highest of like technological advancement type stuff. You're always gonna have enthusiasts that will utilize
the
coil
old
machines
school
because of the
methods.
tradition.
For
involved
sure.
with it.
But I
Yeah.
mean, like I've had time to run both, and I'm getting ready to go back to Dan Cuban's because
Yeah.
I feel like lines come out crispier, cleaner, smoother,
I concur.
less detrimental to the skin because it
Gets
keeps
in there,
up. Yeah, it
and it's
gets
quick.
in there and it's quick. Yeah,
Mhm.
I enjoy that.
I've been using my
like,
Dan Cuban again a lot lately.
I feel, for instance, I tattooed your boyfriend. And he said, it felt like I was pushing a little bit because I feel like that machine I have to slow down a little bit more. And I don't know. It's interesting. But yeah, I love coils, and that's why I think I'm going to go back to it. I'm actually going next week out to Easy Tiger in Maryville to build a coil machine, which I'm super stoked about.
They doing like a seminar?
Yeah, they're doing a little like in-house seminar.
That's cool.
Yeah, a gentleman from down south is coming up. He made 20 frames and 20 coils, and then he's gonna teach everybody how to assemble them and tune them
That's cool.
to
That's
whichever way you want to set them up. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I know how to do it, but still, it's
It's
exciting.
still fun to do.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since I've done it, so a little educational reboot is never a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing, like tattoo schools, they can only teach you so much because, I mean, I've been in the game for a minute now, and I still feel like every day I'm learning something new. There's new techniques. There's,
Absolutely.
tattoo schools can only teach you the basics, and everything else is life experience. And that's why I feel like tattoo schools are just, in theory, they're cool, but it's just
It seems
gonna water down
You
the
miss
industry.
a lot of the essential parts of
Yeah.
learning how to be in the industry.
it seems unnecessary if you're gonna learn all of that in an apprenticeship anyway.
Yeah.
Apprenticeship.
Well, because I feel like most of the time, if you say you went to tattoo school, that's going to be completely irrelevant to
Yeah.
any artist or shop.
Yeah.
So,
Especially
Like,
if you're
just
going to
get
an
the apprenticeship.
established shop that all had to do a traditional apprenticeship, they're just not even going to take you seriously, honestly.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like I said, when people came in and asked for apprenticeships here, and all of their portfolio was digital, I chuckled. I'm like, you're not getting a job here. Like, come back when it's drawn on paper, because anybody can draw on an iPad because you can trace whatever the fuck you want, but drawing on paper, I can see whether you traced or copied something,
yeah.
and I can see where you erased, and like there's no forgiveness to it, and that I want to see the struggle, because that means that you actually tried versus
Yeah.
just half-assing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if in tattoo schools, if they're having them draw on paper, or if they're just giving them designs and machines day one, and
Right.
they, you
Yeah, I'm
start
curious
tattooing.
if
like,
they go in really in depth. Is it just tattooing, or are they going into a fine art aspect as well, where they're teaching you fundamentals of art itself and like learning perspective and like all this random like how in depth are they
We should all
going?
take a tattoo
I
class.
think we should send an undercover student in. Let's send Braxton to tattoo school, or Miklo to tattoo school, and have them.
Don't send me. I didn't do well in school.
Yeah, but it's tattoo school.
Who's funding this? Is Bluebird gonna pay for this?
I mean, we'll figure out what it
Tax
costs,
write-off of some
but
sort, right? right?
tax write-off. It's for educational purposes.
It's educational and business.
We're sending a secret spy into the tattoo school.
This all of a sudden turns into a Mr. Beast video.
Yeah, let's turn it into a YouTube series, okay? We'll live stream the school.
Hey, you know. I
You guys
mean,
have any
maybe
idea how much tattoo schools are charging people to go to them right now?
I have no clue.
Do you
Miklo,
know?
you want to pull
I
that
think,
up?
I'm
real
not
quick?
sure. I
Let's
could be
see.
I
Quick
could
little
be
Google up.
completely wrong. So I'm gonna guess like a $5,000 difference here.
Yeah.
I'm
It's got to be at least a
I
couple
think-
grand.
Yeah, I would think a
so
couple thousand.
I know someone
It's
who's trying to get in
2025
one
in this
Minus
economy?
your
city,
supplies.
and it's either 5,000
Right, like what do you
or
get?
10,000.
Do you get anything out of it?
for
Because
the
like,
schooling.
Yeah,
There's-
if it's 10,000, that must be like including a couple machines
so-
or
it
something.
motherfucking
For
better be.
instance, when I wanted to go out to Vegas for that the laser school, the laser seminar,
That was 15, wasn't it?
it was 45 because you get your laser machine.
45,000 or
Yeah, you get
Yeah,
your
but you
laser
get
machine
everything you
sent-
need. Leaving that.
Yeah, they're guaranteeing
They're
a job
guaranteeing
offer.
job offers.
Sure.
At
From
what
where?
tattoo shop?
So was my school, and that got
What-
shut down for fraudulent
you look
reasons.
at?
I mean, I'm sure that's definitely
Okay.
something I'm sure they
Okay,
have
so they're
worked out in
they're
s- at some
guaranteeing
extent, but-
offers,
I
but
guarantee
they're
all
also
of those
guaranteeing
shops-
or
offers
even the people
at
teaching
a shop
are
where you have no
offering
idea if
students
they have a
jobs
lot of
afterwards.
clientele
Or
that
they're
comes
just going
through
to
or
shops
no
with a bunch
clientele that
of-
comes
Hold
through.
on, we got too many
Or-
conversations happening.
It happens.
Um,
Pull it up here faster.
no, so they're saying they guarantee you'll get a job right out of school, but at what kind of shop? Are you going to be at a shop where you're doing only $60 tattoos for that are like intense, that you're having to do big tattoos for $60? Are you starting at a shop that gets only one person walking in once every 2 weeks?
Or is it a shop full of people that only went to tattoo school? It's just like a bunch
my
of shops
God.
of just
Oh no.
tattoo
I mean,
school artists.
those are all questions that you need to ask if you are going to take the route of going to tattoo school. Is like, what kind of shop are you going to be in after the fact? You know, what
Yeah.
kind of people are you going to work with?
Here's the
I'm sure
the
that's
thing.
not the case for every
You're
tattoo
paying
school,
for
though.
tattoo school, and you're not paying for an apprenticeship, except for in tasks that you'd have to complete without getting paid, essentially. But you're getting
Right.
paid in what you're learning. But in any apprenticeship that you're paying for is a red flag, in my opinion. If someone asks you to
Yeah, no,
pay
you,
for an apprenticeship,
you
you're
pay for your apprenticeship in blood, sweat, and tears,
yeah.
and Red Bull.
So if you're willing,
Bustle up.
it seems like
And
an easy
so-
way out. If
and
you got
there-
the money
there-
and you
there
want to
can
do
be
the easy way,
situations
go
where
to
you
school.
have like an apprenticeship that isn't good either. You know, there's definitely been instances of that. Wasn't there someone in town here that had a similar situation where they were like,
Oh yeah, $1,200 and you could start tattooing. The next day, it paid for your insurance
yeah,
For what?
to learn.
An
how to
artist
tattoo.
offered that to a potential, like.
Oh yeah.
new-
Oh
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
That's how
my
it used to be back.
I
in the
had
day.
a girl reach out to me who was just inquiring about general knowledge about how to get an apprenticeship, and she told me that the artist that she went to as a client had told her that if she paid $7,000, he would take her on as an apprentice for a 2-year apprenticeship. I went, no,
I mean,
no.
at this
No.
point,
That's
at this
crazy.
day and age,
That's a red
That's
flag.
a car.
That's a car.
I don't think I'd ever apprentice anybody else. But
So-
if I did, I'm charging them.
You
No.
asked. You asked. The most legit one I could find
Tattoo
was
school.
Master Tattoo Institute.
Master
they out of?
Tattoo
It
Institute.
claims that they are licensed by the Department of Education.
Ooh.
Show me the
Wow.
proof.
Pretty bold claim.
Show me the
Uh,
proof.
The Department of Education.
They are out of
So does that mean they're accredited if that's the case?
Miami Beach, Florida.
Liars.
Oh,
Um,
that's a
and
red flag.
it
I was gonna
is-
say California.
Is the
but-
teacher Ariel De Jesus?
That's
So
the
there's like
Texas code.
7 instructors at this tattoo school, and the cheapest one you can do is 4 weeks. It's a 160-hour program. It's $500.
Huh?
because it's $500 a month.
I know a lot of people are doing this shit. I already know it.
Yeah, 4 weeks. So it claims.
We're going to Miami.
So in 4 weeks, do you get some
Yeah.
like degree?
Oh, we're getting there. This program
Braxton's
provides
going to
instruction in
Miami.
the fundamentals of tattooing, theory classes, and hands-on practical applications. Provides students with the knowledge and practical experience to start a career in today's beauty industry as a tattoo professional.
Huh?
Yeah.
You say when?
Oh yeah. Upon successful completion, you
No
receive a
tattoo
diploma.
artist talks like this.
This is scary
But it's
times.
instruction in tattoo rules and regulations, safety and sanitation,
This sounds like a cult.
managing complications, side effects, tattoo techniques, designs, inks, procedures. You receive 90 hours of theory, 35 hours of lab, and 35 hours of hands-on live practice.
No.
So here's my thing.
And that's their basic.
1 week of lab. But here's my thing.
So 1 week of tattooing and you're ready to go.
With a diploma.
With a diploma.
Wow.
What was your
Wow.
what were you gonna say?
I don't know anymore. That just hurt my soul and defeated me.
You know,
as a
and also
tattooer.
too, I've heard from
It makes me
several.
want to go fucking put a brick through this place.
Oh my God.
Well, and-
window.
And mind you, I've
you guys heard
I've heard
nothing.
from a few artists
$500 of
in Florida.
fucking
So wait,
month.
what's
that
the
Florida
most
already tries to make
expensive?
a money grab on tattoo artists through licensing.
And you can apply for a scholarship.
Chris, you want to go relearn how to tattoo for $500?
You'll get a degree.
We're
Dude,
all going to
I
Miami.
think it would be funny if
We're all like, fuck tattoo school.
if
Oh,
we
it's in
all
Miami?
just signed up and then walked in there and like
Blew
like you,
their minds.
You, me, and Jay just be like, bro, I got
They're
more
perfect.
knowledge in one nut hair than than you do in your entire career. Like, I want to know how much, like, how long these educators have been tattooing, and I want to see what their tattoos look like that
It's
they're
like
educating
a bunch of
people.
cosmetic.
And what their
tattooers.
career is like too.
Wait, what'd you say?
They probably learn through that school as well.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I'm thinking.
Right, and that's what
If
I'm
you
saying.
put in
So, like,
3 months, you get to be a teacher at their school. That's your job placement. You just become a teacher.
Yeah, fuck that.
Ooh.
Like, what do you mean online tattoo school?
So once you graduate, your
The
job
fuck?
placement is to become a teacher at that school.
That's what they really are.
little pyramid scheme-ish.
We're just busting them out.
dude, I just
7,000 tattoo teachers.
Dude, this is about to become the best pyramid scheme I ever had. Who wants to learn how to tattoo?
What happens is you show up to our school, and then we instruct you, and then you've got to get 5 more people to sign up for this.
And you're gonna instruct
Not a
them.
scam.
If you get 3 people to enroll with you, your tuition is free.
And by the time those 3
Damn.
people have their own apprentices, you'll still be making money off of them.
Yeah,
and
you'll
be
make
making money
commission
off
off
of their
of their
apprentices.
tattoos.
I'm just
Ooh,
curious
yeah,
from
give me a-
like a customer standpoint. Like, how would you feel if somebody was like, "Yeah, I learned how to tattoo at a tattoo school for a week." You know what I'm saying? Like,
If you saw a certificate on the wall that said from like February of 2025 to June of 2025, tattoo school graduate.
One thing that I have learned: certificates do not mean anything. Boom.
It's like,
I am technically certified. Yeah, I certified that I paid them money.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be certified to know all of the rules of OSHA. Couldn't tell you one of them.
Damn straight.
I'm also supposed to be certified in handling hazardous materials. I slept through that class. And I still
Hypothetically.
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 let's talk about the fact that he does not work at Bluebird Tattoo.
Right.
You don't need to be OSHA certified at
he
Bluebird
just,
Tattoo.
he just helps run the
Need
podcast.
the second word, but
He did not sleep through any tattoos.
he's just for here for the pod. That's it.
certificates don't mean anything.
Tech,
Certificates
tech
mean
man.
you clicked the right answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you got a perfect score.
or that you just committed enough time and money to something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like me personally, I would.
But certificates,
Some certificates do mean
give-
something.
they give
some
people
don't.
security, a sense
That's
of
true.
security. You know,
It's
Like,
a
oh,
bottom
he's
line.
certified.
Certified tatter.
A certificate doesn't show how good someone is. It shows them that they can meet the bare minimum. That's the point of a
100%.
certificate.
There is a saying at my job: code is the floor. It's not the ceiling. You can always do better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all that certificate tells me is that if I was to look up and like say you had a certificate that said you went to the Master Tattoo Institute, all it shows me is that you sat in a classroom while someone told you about art styles, and that you had less training than any other industry on this planet on how to do your job, and then they said, "Here you go." I would go to you last, if at all. You'd have to be the last tattooer on the planet, and I would have to be chosen.
See, but all you gotta do is be a good salesperson, because if I know how to sell master, what the hell was the name of that? Master?
That would be a tattoo school-ish. You can't teach how to tattoo.
Well, that's
But it
business
would
school.
but it would be better if you learned financial literacy, how to do your taxes, how to market yourself, the basics of hygiene.
Yeah, you know, if you can't get an apprenticeship right now, I would invest your time into doing art on your own, developing your own style, and investing in financial classes or entrepreneurial classes.
Yeah, you're going to school,
go to
isn't
school
gonna
and get a
you.
business degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because to
'Cause
be
you're
a
just wasting
tattooer,
your
you
money
gotta
going
know
to
how
a
to do
tattoo
fucking
school.
business. Like, yeah, I don't know. Tattoo school can only, like I said, I stand firm on it that it's.
And if
only
you
gonna-
want to learn, if you're a tattoo artist already and you feel like you need more schooling, that's what seminars are for. That's when you can actually
That's what fucking guest
follow
spots
an
are for.
artist. Yeah, you can go to an artist that you already look up to and that you want to learn how they do their style, and they'll do a seminar, and you can actually learn the techniques that they're using that are done correctly to get this. And they have work that shows that they know what they're doing as well.
Yeah.
There's I think a lot more to be learned in an apprenticeship.
For sure. Real life shit.
Yep.
Makes your skin tough.
So
I don't
we'll
think
see.
hair on your
a
chest.
crazy crackhead's gonna walk into a tattoo school and give you a run for your money like they would in an apprenticeship. You gotta learn. You gotta learn
Wait.
how to take
How many
the hits.
crackheads did you have?
Yeah, like, what are you
walk
talking
in
about right
through
now?
I
front
am the
door,
crackhead that
'cause,
walks in through the front door. You gotta learn how to deal with me.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of concerned when you walked in through the front door the first time.
Me?
Yeah,
My.
I don't know.
I went
How
out
did
and
you
cried
feel?
in my car after.
Yeah,
I went
bet.
out. Huh? Yeah, I went
said
out
I
and cried in
bet.
my. Yeah, I left. I took my
I was
little
nervous
binder.
when I first
When?
brought a
When I
portfolio in.
brought my portfolio in, didn't know what the
Oh,
hell I
yeah.
was doing. Got no input from that dude
You're
over
really
there.
putting yourself out there when you
Literally-
take a portfolio.
Yo,
to
your
a
Oh,
dad-
yeah,
job.
I thought I was
your
toast.
dad
I was like,
said
I'm
let
not
her
giving
have
it
it.
up.
I let her
Yeah,
have it.
I walked into my car, I sat down, I cried, and then I drove an hour back home.
Yeah.
And then I was in here
It's
like
scary
2
though,
weeks
but that's the
later.
real world.
They should have
you
told
gotta,
me I had
you
the
gotta
worst
be willing to
portfolio
take
out of
chances,
everyone
you know?
that they
Yeah.
interviewed. And I was like,
Look at, but
I think my
that's-
portfolio was worse than anyone's here. I went back
But
and looked
that's
at that. I
part
went,
of an
"How did I get an apprenticeship here? This
You
is
know.
so bad."
Well, you
I
know,
mean,
we-
heck, that
we saw
relates
the
to a client.
potential.
You're gonna walk
Yeah,
up
but
to a
then
client
you
with a
guys
drawing.
also critiqued.
You gotta be confident in your work, you know.
Well, I am now. I wasn't then. I
But
grew
that's what
into
that's
that.
what like the whole apprenticeship teaches you. You
yeah,
know?
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
It teaches you right from wrong and how to sell your art for sure. But you guys critiqued me and you okay.
I don't
You
know,
critiqued me. You gave me pointers and told me what I needed to do. So then when I came back, I did that. That's school's not gonna teach you to do that.
yeah. What if you get like a D minus? Do you still? Are you
Oh.
still
Do you still
certified?
graduate?
Like, do
Yeah.
they grade you?
Do you think
Is
they get
it-
summer break?
Or is it just like if you do the shit, you do the shit?
Do we get a spring break if we go to tattoo school? What is
Do
spring
they have a
break for tattoo
cafeteria?
school?
Spring break.
If there's food, I'm in.
All right,
If
go
there's
tattoo 'em.
food, I'm there.
Question: does anyone fail out of that school?
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, do they grade you?
Well, no one failed out of the academy, so I'm sure it's ran
It's like
the
if you
exact
get a
same
D
way.
minus,
Yeah.
you still get to go tattoo.
Yeah.
Or
I
like you
mean,
actually.
If
Can
you
you-
paid the money, you'll be
Hey,
acing.
C's
Right.
get degrees.
So here's my thing, and
Money
it fucking
talks.
it disgusts me. A style of tattooing like these purposely like bad tattoos.
Oh, ignorant
yeah,
style?
they're
yeah,
rough.
the
Yeah.
ignorant style right now. Like, I mean, art is art. If people
And you
are
know
into
what?
it, it'll
Yeah, but
sell.
people think it's
But-
funny.
You know what? And like,
If it's done well, I
yeah,
feel like
if
there's a
the
different.
ignorant tattoos are done well, then like, okay, to each your own. Like, people
Yeah.
will get stick figure tattoos, and those
I
are
think
considered
people
crude
like
drawings.
the aesthetic
like,
of crappy
the
tattoos.
people that just take a machine and
I
they're
did
just
a-
like,
I did a
okay,
trash
here's the
raccoon once.
tattoo. I'm just gonna run my whole machine all along your arm randomly.
Like that guy on TikTok.
Like the people
With the
that buy
fences.
the Amazon machines and tattoo out of
All right.
like frickin' cartridge. Have you seen that? They'll like buy cartridges and machines from Amazon. I've seen them pour like Indian ink into the frickin' plastic that the cartridge came in, and they're sitting there just drilling into their thigh, writing like fucking TikTok names on their thing during
It's the
TikTok
TikTok
lives.
handle.
Yeah, they'll write the TikTok handles for like, oh, if you send me a rose or whatever it is on TikTok, I'll tattoo your TikTok handle into my leg.
Ridiculous.
So
Sorry, galaxies.
So here's something fun that I think I'm gonna bring onto the podcast.
Shit, I'll tattoo
because-
someone's. Wait,
Right, I'm
wait
like,
a minute. It's
uh,
$100.
I'm gonna buy a fake
I'll
leg.
tattoo your name. I'll tattoo your name on
So
my leg.
I think one of the next few podcasts, since we keep bringing up Amazon machines, Amazon machines, Amazon machines,
Are you about to buy one?
we are buying an Amazon
Heck
machine.
yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
want
Can
to
it be
see
Each
purple?
of us have to tattoo the same design
Slay.
with an Amazon machine
and ours.
and then our regular machine.
Hell yeah, I'm
Okay,
down.
slay.
I want to know if these, like, how
And
these
I
are running.
guarantee
I see people in Tattoo Shop Talk on Facebook
Wait,
all
hold
the
on.
time
I'm
Are we
saying
gonna
telling
get an
you
Amazon
Amazon
machines
coil and
I'm
an
telling
are
Amazon
the
you
same
guys-
as anything else.
because I had my entire forearm just recently tattooed by an Amazon tattoo machine, and the thing fucking slaps.
I know. I want to know.
I don't care,
They're like the same, like the everything in it's the same.
but
It's
but
not a
here's-
Dragon Hawk?
Here's my
Well,
thing.
just
I don't know
because
about
you have a
Dragonhawk.
good machine
So-
doesn't
There's
mean
a
the
Mast.
application's
Mast
good.
is one that people say.
all of
all the
these
time. It's a good
pens
one.
run off of a Maxon motor.
Right.
It is the same Maxon motor. It just switches on what the stroke you have inside of it. So, yeah, FK Irons throws the FK Irons, and then you have a fucking Superman edition, and they sell it for $1,200. But it's the same motor that's inside of this cheap ass machine, and I guarantee it's going to work just the same.
Yeah.
Like if you tattoo,
If you know how to tattoo.
yeah, if you know. Point in case, if you know how to, and if you don't feel comfortable doing the competition with me, it's
I'll
not
do
even
it.
a competition.
Yeah,
this
it sounds
sounds
fun.
fun.
Let's,
I
This
want it.
is a.
yeah, it's a comparison, not
Yeah.
a competition.
This is more of a scientific study.
But yeah, just to see what the difference is. But I think it, so 100%. I am going to wrap the machines. I'm
So
gonna
you don't know?
So you do not know whether it is.
I know what my shit feels like
a-
though.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
but we've
Yeah, I
got
don't know. A
those.
Flux Max machine has a pretty noticeable shape.
I'm
It
gonna
looks
Yeah.
wrap
like
the
a dildo.
entire machine in paper towels and then wrap it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I can
Scentsy
put
wrap.
enough Scentsy wrap on it that you ain't gonna know.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to fucking molest the machine. I'm gonna set it up to perfect depth, and you gotta figure it out. You're not allowed to shake it. Or,
So aggressive.
yeah. But
Wanna buy a purple
I
mask.
think that'll be
Fingering
a
the
fun
cartridge
segment
holes.
that we could do on the podcast.
That would be
Uh,
fun.
That'd be super fun.
Just to
Can we
just
do an
to see.
ASMR episode and the same thing? We'll just put our mics up. to
So,
the machine.
I mean, even this, we don't have to do an
Blot 'em out on
entire
purpose.
tattoo. We could even have, you know,
Let's do
just
1,000
one-
circles.
just one
Yeah.
Cheyenne
client
and I will
come
be
in though,
hanging them out.
and we have two different machines wrapped up, and we each do a little bit. Like we each do a section of the tattoo. Say we do like a Super Mario piece, you know. You get the head, you get the torso, you get the arms, I get the legs. And we, you know, your left leg, your right leg
Yeah.
is with different machines, and see how it runs. You
That'd be
know,
cool.
because I can almost guarantee you, if you know how to tattoo, whether you have
I don't know.
a $60 Amazon pen or a $1,200 Bishop or FK Irons,
And likewise,
You
if you
can
don't
tattoo.
know how to tattoo,
They're both gonna
the
look like
machine's
ass.
not gonna make a difference.
Yeah, if
You
don't
have
know
a
how to tattoo, the
$1,400
machine doesn't
machine.
make a difference. But I have personally used coil machines that I bought from International Tattoo in Chicago for $50, and I can line with them just as good as I can with my Jan Cuban. You just got to know how to fucking use your
So
use
I actually
your
have a question
tools.
when it comes to that because in the computer world, it's kind of the difference between using like Photoshop or GIMP art or whatever. They're both essentially the same exact program. It's just one's a little bit more streamlined.
You can say it, Apple, Microsoft.
No, because there's actually
You know, because but I'm just saying though, like
but like
No, I would say like Procreate versus Photoshop. Like they're
I
both
would say,
very
like,
similar
same exact setup,
software.
same exact thing, but just one's a little bit more streamlined.
Yeah.
Or one has a different way of doing things.
And honestly,
There's
even with
usually
all the
always
pens,
something
like
a little different.
I sold a pen to Jordan that I have, and it runs the exact same as my Flux Max, but it just fits different in my hand. And so that's really the only difference, and that's why I like the Flux Max more, is because of the grip. And that's it. The machine-wise, I felt like it was the same.
Sometimes there's little things like this machine you can adjust the stroke easily. This machine you have to take it apart to adjust the stroke. Little things like that
100%.
would be the difference. But at the end, when the machine is running, they're probably the same.
Yo, chill.
Sorry. Yelling.
But yeah, we're almost to the end of the episode. Anything else you guys would like to throw in there?
Yeah, with it getting nice out, let's talk about tattoo care.
Oh yes, tattoo aftercare.
Put
Love
fucking
it.
In the
sunscreen on your
sunshine.
tattoos.
In the
Keep
sunshine.
your Saniderm on. If we put it on, don't mess with it. That doesn't mean pick at it. If a corner starts picking up, push it down.
Leave
don't
it
peel it up.
alone.
You know what I'm saying?
At the very
Oh.
most, if a corner is sticking up, you can trim it, but
But-
don't peel it more.
The best advice that I can give going into the summer season with Saniderm, because that is one thing that we put on almost everybody that comes here to get tattooed, is stay out of the sun. Saniderm acts like a magnifying glass, and you will have the most awkward sunburn, and I guarantee the tattoo underneath is going to be blistered and not feel good, because I've seen it happen.
And it'll last
Um,
longer, too. A lot of people have said those sunburns take a long time
Yeah.
because it's like a sunburn rash.
Yeah, it's not good. So definitely stay out of the sun. One thing that I can definitely suggest, a lot of people don't get tattooed during the wintertime. That's the best time I feel to get tattooed,
Yeah.
What the heck
because you
else are
got
we doing?
plenty of time to let that tattoo heal. So then you can show it off once, summertime comes. But, that's just
SPF.
my two.
SPF. SPF.
Yes, definitely using...
Take care of your skin. Moisturize. Put sunblock on if you're going to be outside.
Don't come back to us complaining that all your color's gone when you spent the entire.
I was actually just talking to
Summer.
Haley about this in the back earlier. I had this
We
tattoo
see
on
your
my arm.
Instagram.
We watched you go into the
The
water
yellow
2
on
days
the top
after
of
getting
my
tattooed.
arm is the same yellow
That part.
as the yellow on the back of my arm, and that's just from sun.
Can't
Son,
see
you need
that.
to stay out of the
Son,
sun.
you
Like
Chill,
two total
son.
huge differences on how washed out sun will make your tattoos. So
Oh yeah, 100%.
moisturize and use sunblock.
Yeah, even moisturizing your tattoos years after you have them. I know I'm
Even
terrible at
just
this,
moisturizing your skin.
but
you know?
moisturizing period will make your
Period.
tattoos last longer, look better, and make you feel good. and
If
you
your
feel
skin
good,
ashy,
you look
Your
good,
colors
you're
ain't gonna
happy.
pop.
If you have a
Long
fresh
story
tattoo,
short,
stay
just
out of the
take care of
lake.
yourself out.
Yes, that is another big thing. Especially in Northwest Indiana, our lakes usually have some pretty
Any
shitty,
standing water.
Yeah, any lake that
Yucky, gross.
has
gross.
a
Contaminated.
hot water discharge from a
Contaminated.
steel mill, you do not want to be hopping into with a fresh tattoo. So please stay out of it. We
Yeah.
And
tell
that
you
goes for
these-
any like body of
Right.
water. Like a hot tub holds an insane amount of germs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because
Standing
it's,
water
it's
is
heated
nasty.
bacteria.
Yeah.
That's what a hot
What is
tub
it? Bacteria thrives into like 80-degree.
to 105
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Me too.
Prime times.
You living your best plankton life. You amoeba.
You say you thrive in 80 to 105
Yeah.
degrees.
I'm an
That's-
island girl.
Yeah.
But alrighty, well, thank you everybody for tuning in to this week's podcast. We will be back in 2 weeks' time.
Like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe,
Follow all of us.
click, do whatever you
Or
gotta
else-
do.
You're lame.
Hit the buttons wherever
First
they're at.
1,000.
Hit all the buttons.
Yes, first
$1,000
1,000
giveaway.
followers on YouTube will be entered
Collab
into
tap.
a free $1,000 tattoo giveaway from Cheyenne and I. Maybe even more of us.
I think
If
everyone in the
anybody
shop
wants
should
to
just hop in. We should just figure
Tattoo
out a
gang
good
bang.
rhythm
4
where it's like
tattoo
I pull a
gangbang.
line and then you pull a line and then you pull a line.
Let's
and
do
then you
it.
pull a line
Let's
and
do an
then I pull a line
entire
and then you-
back piece.
back.
We're talking about
And
tattoos,
we all get a
not
quadrant
drugs.
for the back.
Speak for yourself.
Speak for
don't do
yourself. I mean, you look like you came to a fucking party. Gold
Looks
chain, tank
like
top.
an
You
op.
look like you're ready to go to Florida.
ready for
and fucking
summer.
do some blow. Gold
Or is he
fucking
trying to
watch.
catch you doing blow?
Yeah, dude, he looks
I'm
like
too
an
fat to do
undercover.
blow.
He's an undercover officer.
I'm too fat, too old, and I'm on blood pressure medicine.
Miami bitch.
That's his blow.
You
That
guys,
is your blow. You're doing lines of your
you
blood.
you guys stress me out enough.
He's,
Bro, you
he's
stress
cracking
yourself
his
out.
blood pressure medicine on the counter, doing lines of that.
It's just Red Bull
Christ,
in
Jay, when
like
you're old.
sugar form.
I'm sorry for any shit I ever gave you, Chris, because now I'm feeling it tenfold. Because they're giving me shit now, and it's bullshit.
Where's my house?
That
So I'm
sucks
sorry.
to suck there,
Where's my
but
house?
Where's my house?
Where's your house?
No, never
in
mind.
Colorado.
he's not wrong.
I don't think so.
You have
Oh, yeah.
you have a cabin in Colorado.
I do have a cabin in Colorado.
But
That's
alrighty.
it.
Hey,
White people problem.
I'm actually.
You cannot say that. We're canceled now. Way to go, you guys. Do not listen to these idiots.
Moo.
Way worse than the first. Bye.
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 Later.
you.